Can there be a cannabis company that focuses on the cultivation, processing, and distribution of medicinal and adult use cannabis products? Jushi Holdings is a U.S. company that currently has assets in states such as California, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. In addition, Jushi Holdings' platform is designed to set the new standard for a sophisticated and modern cannabis experience. In this edition of Cannabis World Journals, Jushi Holdings tells us about their process of distributing medicinal and recreational cannabis.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
I'm glad. It's a very good to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for setting up this call today. So we have I know you just joined, so we have Trent here on the line, and we have Lisa also from the Jushi team that's going to be listening in, if that's all right. Yeah, so maybe at the top, do you want to just give an intro of the type of piece you're putting together, and then you could pass it over to Trent for an intro, and we'll kick it off.
Yeah, great. We have someone on the waiting room. Her name is Elisa Andrews.
Oh, yeah, you can. She's from our team as well. If that's okay, if we can listen in, that would be, yeah. You can let her in the room.
So I will admit her in the meeting. Okay, great. So I think we're all set, correct?
Yep, we're all set on our end.
Great. Well, first of all, thank you so much for your time invested on this. As I said, my name is Mary, and I have here also Oliver. He's part of our editorial team of Cannabis World Journals. And this is a digital bi-weekly magazine that makes part of our company that is called CHNC. We educate, we inform, we create awareness about the global cannabis industry throughout this magazine, and as well as our educational products, such as our courses, audiobooks, ebooks. We also have diplomas as well. So yes, I will send you the link of our website so you can give it a look about what CHNC does. But yeah, so I think we can start. So as I said, we are pleased to have you today in this interview. So yes, Jushi Holdings engages with cultivation, processing, and distribution of medical and adult use of cannabis products. So you have built assets in California, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. So in that case, how was Jushi Holdings born? How was that process?
Yeah, hi, Mary. This is Trent Wolovac. Thanks for taking the time to jump on today. So, Jushi was founded in 2016. Jim Cacioppo collaborated with fellow cannabis and finance experts Eric Moff and John Barrick. They realized that by combining their kind of shared knowledge of industry know-how, they could make a lasting impact on the lives of individuals across the globe. They quickly gathered, an impressive team of experts to create Jushi Holdings with the ambition to be a leading multi-state owner and operator of cannabis licenses. And like you had mentioned, today Jushi, our operations have grown rapidly with cultivation, manufacturing, and retail licenses across 7 different states here in the U.S.
Great, that's really interesting. So considering the evolution since then and all of the success you have created, as you're one of the biggest cannabis companies in the United States, so would you say Jushi owes its success?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's all about the people,
Yes,
and
definitely.
so having the best, most experienced, strategic leadership, and really emphasis around empowering employees at every level, it's really given us a competitive advantage in the cannabis industry. We are uber focused on building, a multi-state portfolio of, branded cannabis assets through opportunistic acquisitions and distressed workouts, and then also through competitive applications. And so leveraging kind of that strategy and really keeping the main focus on core markets like PA or Pennsylvania, Virginia, Illinois. These states, are always going to kind of have us be investing in them, and then also leveraging, that with actively pursuing new and potential opportunities in other markets.
Yes, it's really interesting. So where do you see the company in the next 3 years in that case?
Yeah, I think the momentum is very real in cannabis at the federal level, and so that's a big positive. But I think more importantly, we're seeing a lot of momentum at the state level, and so that's really transitioning medical programs over to adult use programs, and or states that don't have robust or any medical program coming and setting up medical programs for their for their people in that state. So I think you'll see that evolution and maturity over the next 3 years, that we as Jushi, but just the cannabis industry as a whole, serving a much larger patient and or customer base. We as Jushi plan on continuing to focus on new opportunistic markets and or businesses that would allow us to build on our core competencies and expertise to thrive in all of those new markets, whether it's medical and or adult use.
Yes, so definitely the cannabis industry has grown rapidly in recent years in response to that expanded legalization and a flood of capital from venture capital firms and other investors. Definitely the industry broke a new ground last year as New Jersey, Montana, South Dakota. So right now you operate in 8 states inside the country. Do you plan to expand outside the USA?
I think we're always looking for ways to continue to expand and grow our business, and we remain focused on limited license markets in the U.S. With strategic M&A strategy, but we're always exploring a diverse set of opportunities, both domestically and abroad, as programs become more clear and concise in other countries.
Yes. So in your opinion, as we are talking about the cannabis, how the cannabis industry has changed since 2018, 2016, how do you say we have developed this industry in the United States when Jushi began its operations?
It's matured a lot. And so, what does that mean? That both the just cannabis in general and the industry is moving into a much more mainstream conversation. You don't have to whisper anymore that you're in cannabis or are pursuing cannabis opportunities. So that's been really exciting to see. I think more states are starting to understand that the sky doesn't fall when you implement a cannabis medical program or an adult use cannabis program. So you're seeing a lot of states look at cannabis as an opportunity to expand taxes collected, job growth, and then infrastructure spend in their states, both at the state level, but also at the local municipality level. So that's been really a maceration, a maturity of how legislators are thinking about programs. Next, just the sophistication of the industry in terms of technology and high performers from outside of the cannabis industry. So we've been able to hire folks like Leo Garcia Berg as our COO, who comes over from McKinsey and AB InBev, and then our EVP of retail like Brendan Lynch, who's come over from building apothecarium,
No
which we're acquiring, and anthropology, which is where he came over from 2 stores to 177 stores. So being able to have conversations about the industry in general, and them coming over to work in the industry has been an amazing kind of transformation of people looking at this as a career move, not just as a risk. And then finally, like I said, the legislation and political climates on both sides of the aisle of Democrats, but also now Republicans, of really looking at this industry as a viable opportunity for economic growth and societal change has been nothing short of amazing over the last 4 years since Jushi's coming into the marketplace.
Yes, thank you. So you recently acquired New Leaf. This agreement that has 3 retail dispensaries, a cultivation facility, and product manufacturing facility. So why this company in particular?
We were thrilled to be able to enter into the agreement to acquire New Leaf. Like you said, vertically integrated company with the potential to significantly increase our presence in Nevada from a retail and a wholesale market. New Leaf boasts a very well-established retail network with top quality design forward dispensaries in coveted high traffic destination locations. In addition to New Leaf's cultivation and processing assets are strongly aligned with our strategic expansion strategy in Nevada. And so this acquisition is expected to also generate significant top line growth, and then also be immediately accretive from an increased market share of Jushi's best in class brands, and really establish a leadership position in one of the largest adult use cannabis markets in the US.
Yes. So is it on your agenda to implement new products into your catalog this year?
Yeah, I think last year we debuted a comprehensive suite of cannabis brands across multiple states. The bank, which is our flower, the lab, which is extracted products, Tastology, which is infused products, Nira Plus, which is a medical centric land of infused products, and then Sachet, which is a value brand of flower. And so being able to address a wide variety of consumers and patient needs is really our goal. And so we are always looking to unveil other products this year, and working with our teams and understanding what patient demand, customer demands are. And so really driving R&D with our ops team to bring those to market. And so since then we've rolled out other brands and new products in states like Nevada and Virginia and Ohio, and we'll continue to do so to create that brand awareness nationwide.
Yes, definitely. So, Jushi Holdings has the ambition of to be a leading multi-state owner with the vision of creating like a lasting impact on the life of individuals when it comes to consuming cannabis. So one of the primary goals is to offer high quality cannabis and hemp-based products. So can you tell us a bit of the process you go through to obtain these products that you're currently offer?
Sure. So again, going back to my earlier comment of, people first, we have a very talented bench of individuals that really help create and push us on the product R&D side. And so bringing that to fruition through the team there is super imperative. We also marry that with our retail team to be able to garner data and use analytics around what we know either the patient and or consumers want. And so being able to bring that together with then the commercial team to really look at, understand, and drive the commercialization of those products, ensure the timeline, the rollout, the options, really kind of has and creates a three-legged tripod to bring to market what we know is, again, that high quality cannabis products to be able to best service our patients and our customers.
Yes. So the coronavirus really impacts in the way that the industry works. So in that case, did the COVID-19 pandemic change in any way how you handle marketing and the selling experience for your customers?
Yeah, it absolutely did. What we did, as a business was to implement really a more omni-channel strategy at the retail storefront. This not only strengthened our relationship with the Jushi customers, but it also, expanded new revenue streams to run out of that retail storefront. And so, we've been really able to fine tune our digital platform, which focuses on the best-in-class express and contactless services to give our patients and or consumers a more frictionless experience. But now we really are looking to the future of having a meaningful experiential expansion, both at that retail storefront, but also through, a drive-through and or a home delivery where that is allowed. And so bringing that, again, omni-channel strategy to where that retail distribution touch point to educate folks around, what and how cannabis can be beneficial to them is super important, but also having multiple touch points on how they want to consume it or obtain it is super imperative as well.
Yes. So when it comes to the customer experience and how the industry, the COVID-19 impact the industry, the Jushi Holdings always ensure that you are producing the highest quality and most consistent products in the US market. So how do you build the customer experience in Jushi? What makes you stand out from other cannabis companies?
Yeah, I think it's really kind of mixing cannabis with that art, performance, and curated designer products. We really aim to be at the heart of the cannabis culture. And by introducing this unique merchandising, we are really developing a brand and an experience that goes beyond shopping for cannabis. It's more of a retail scene, which I believe has been the key for the post-pandemic environment that we're now transitioning into. At Beyond Hello, we design every single aspect of the customer experience, from our physical space to our digital services. And we engage all the human senses, whether that's using, through color, psychology to determine the look and feel, the musical design of the sound experience within the store, and then even the neuroscience of the smell through candles that we've created and now burn within our stores. It's merging all of those really differentiators versus the customer versus our competitors that have really driven us to worry about the patient and or the customer first, to be that differentiated experience within the retail channel of the cannabis business.
Yeah, so on your website, you mentioned that there are a new sophisticated cannabis consumers and that you need to meet their demands. What specific demands have you identified? What do these new customers desire from cannabis companies like yours?
Sure. The vision to work with new and like-minded partners and build Jushi brands into a modern retail leader, which will blend exclusive and unique offerings with a cultural experience. As the landscape for operating cannabis stores rapidly evolve, Jushi is venturing into the next frontier by creating a sophisticated retail scene. You might expect to get at a Fred Siegel or a Starbucks Reserve, for example. These environments where like-minded people gather to chat and discover new products, or even music or art. Beyond just cannabis itself, this next level experience of retail aims to sit right at the heart of the cannabis culture, blending that high-end cannabis retail with diverse and purposeful non-cannabis products and experience is really imperative for our success moving forward as we continue to evolve the cannabis retail.
Yes, so the legal sales of cannabis, the year-over-year growth rate in sales, it's really impressive. So many cannabis companies have been emerging. Many cannabis startups have been emerging because of this impressive growth rate. So what would be your advice for smaller companies that look up to you?
Yeah, I think, first and foremost, you have to do your due diligence on everything from the market you're looking to enter into. There's a lot of rules and regulations that differ at the local jurisdictional level, at the state level. And so making sure you understand the baseline is super imperative. I also think there's a lot of really experienced people out there that have been in cannabis for a really long time, dating back to regulated industry that started out of Colorado. And so seeking out and looking for mentors, I think is super imperative. And then get involved in that local community, that local industry, and really push for that movement and the acceptance that cannabis is just another business, and building that rapport again within that local community, I think is imperative to drive success and buy-in for those smaller companies to succeed.
Yeah, so as we push the legalization throughout all United States, how do you see the cannabis industry developing in the near future?
Yeah, I think more and more states coming online,
Mm-hmm.
and policies will continue to be driven by the states. I don't think there's going to be a fail swoop at the federal level. And so, you know, staying focused on that state, on that local municipality, is going to be super important. You know, at the federal level, I think we're hopeful to see, you know, movement on a bipartisan supported legislation around some sort of banking, you know, allowance. And so I think that that's going to be important here in the very near term. And then, you know, finally, and really regardless, you know, we're going to continue to stay the course and build out our strategy as Jushi in the US. And I think that's, you know, staying laser focused in the cannabis industry is something that is the last thing I guess I'd leave you with is super important. You can't go and chase the shiny object. Stay focused and have firm belief in that business plan, in that strategy, and continue to push forward, because that's what's going to drive success in the end.
Yes. Okay, so I think I definitely appreciate all of this conversation was really productive.